Are you tired of losing arguments? Today, we're showing you 7 powerful dark psychology tricks that will change the game. From making your point stick to outsmarting any opponent, these tactics ensure you'll never be on the losing side again. Are you curious? Keep watching to turn the tables in your next debate. Let's get started. Trick number 1, frame control. Frame control is a dark psychology tactic that involves guiding the underlying context or perspective of an argument. By controlling the frame, you determine what's considered relevant or irrelevant, essentially setting the terms of the debate. This technique is powerful because it allows you to influence how others perceive the issue at hand. For example, in a business negotiation, framing the discussion around potential gains rather than losses can lead participants to be more agreeable and open to compromise. It's important to establish your frame early in the conversation and reinforce it subtly throughout the discussion. Effective frame control also involves deflecting or reframing the opponent's arguments to fit your narrative. This can be done by questioning the assumptions they make or by introducing new elements that shift the focus. Mastering frame control requires practice and a keen awareness of both verbal and nonverbal cues, making it a sophisticated tool for winning arguments. If you are enjoying this video, please like it, share it with your friends who need it, and subscribe to this channel for more powerful content on dark psychology. Trick number 2, preemptive strike. A preemptive strike involves addressing and neutralizing an opponent's arguments before they even present them. This tactic is effective because it allows you to set the tone of the discussion and steer it in a favorable direction. By anticipating the counter-arguments and addressing them early, you can weaken your opponent's position, making it harder for them to build a strong case against you. This strategy not only shows your thorough understanding of the subject, but also places you in a position of control, as it forces the opponent to respond to your framework rather than setting their own. Additionally, it can disrupt their thought process and strategy, causing confusion or hesitation. However, it requires careful planning and deep knowledge of the opponent's likely arguments and biases, making it a sophisticated tool in argumentation that, when used effectively, can significantly sway the outcome in your favor. Trick number 3, emotional hijacking. Emotional hijacking involves deliberately triggering intense emotions in your opponent to divert their focus from the argument at hand. By tapping into emotions like fear, anger, or insecurity, you can disrupt their logical thought processes, making them more susceptible to persuasion or error. This tactic leverages the psychological concept that emotional responses can cloud judgment and override rational thinking. When someone is emotionally compromised, their capacity to analyze information critically diminishes, potentially leading them to concede points they might otherwise defend staunchly. To effectively employ emotional hijacking, one might use charged language, raise voice levels, or invoke personal stakes. However, it's crucial to use this strategy sparingly and ethically, as it can easily backfire, damaging relationships and credibility if perceived as manipulative or disrespectful. Ideally, emotional hijacking should subtly steer the conversation without alienating or overtly antagonizing the other party. Trick number 4, overloading. Overloading involves bombarding your opponent with a barrage of arguments and information within a short time. This tactic is effective because it exploits the limitation of the human mind to process only a limited amount of information at once. When overwhelmed, an individual is likely to make quick decisions without thoroughly evaluating all aspects, which can lead them to concede points they might otherwise contest. Overloading isn't just about quantity, it's also about complexity. Presenting complex ideas quickly can prevent the other person from understanding fully or responding effectively. This tactic is especially useful in debates or negotiations where time is limited and pressure is high. However, it requires a delicate balance, as excessive use might be perceived as aggressive or unfair, leading to negative repercussions in terms of relationship and credibility. Therefore, it should be used judiciously and ethically, keeping in mind the long-term implications on relationships and reputations. Trick number 5. Illusory truth effect. The illusory truth effect is a psychological phenomenon where repeating a statement frequently makes people more likely to believe it, regardless of its truthfulness. This tactic is often used in arguments to sway opinions by reinforcing a specific point through repetition. When a claim is repeated multiple times, it becomes more familiar to the listener. Familiarity then leads to greater trust and acceptance of the information, even if it is not backed by evidence. Effective use of this effect in an argument involves strategically choosing a statement that supports your position and weaving it subtly into different parts of the discussion. It's crucial to vary the phrasing slightly each time to avoid sounding repetitive or insincere. By doing so, you can strengthen your argument by making your key points seem more credible and accepted, influencing the overall perception of your stance without the need for extensive factual support. Trick number 6. Authority influence. Authority influence involves leveraging the perception of authority to sway an argument. When people perceive someone as an authority figure, they are more likely to accept their arguments without critical thinking due to a psychological inclination to obey figures of authority. This can be achieved by presenting oneself as an expert, using titles and uniforms, or citing credible sources and statistics. The influence increases if the authority seems unbiased and holds relevant expertise. However, it's crucial to use this responsibly to avoid misleading others. Establishing authority also means maintaining a confident tone and posture, which subconsciously communicates power and knowledge. Additionally, referencing well-known experts or associating oneself with respected institutions can further enhance one's authoritative appeal. Authority influence is not just about what is said, but how it is said and the perceived position from which it is being said. Trick number 7. Paralanguage. Paralanguage refers to the nonverbal elements of communication used to convey emphasis and emotion, which play a crucial role in arguments. This includes tone of voice, pitch, volume, and speaking rate. By strategically manipulating these elements, you can subtly influence the emotional state of your opponent and steer the conversation. For instance, speaking slowly with a lower pitch can convey authority and seriousness, making your arguments appear more thoughtful and deliberate. Conversely, increasing your speaking rate can convey urgency and passion, which might be used to rally support or emphasize a point's importance. Adjusting volume, either louder to command attention or softer to draw listeners in, also affects engagement levels. Effective use of paralanguage can not only make your points more persuasive, but can also distract or destabilize your opponent, making it harder for them to effectively counter your arguments. That's a wrap on the 7 dark psychology tricks to win any argument. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Your support helps us keep bringing you powerful strategies that make a difference. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.